The city opened its books today for the first time in a while, and the picture wasn't pretty. There's a $538 million deficit. The question now, how will Mayor Johnson tackle it in next month's budget? CBS 2's political reporter Chris Tye digs into the numbers.
Don't screw it up. We're delivering this up on a silver platter. Continue the work, stay the course, and things will continue to shine bright for the city of Chicago.
That's how Chicago's last mayor framed the state of Chicago's budget. In April, Mayor Lightfoot forecasted an $85 million deficit for next year. 5 months later, that number has ballooned to a $538 million deficit forecast. Mayor Johnson writing this gap is driven by several factors, including rising personnel, pension, and contractual costs, as well as the cost of care for new migrants arriving to the city. The forecasted cost to feed and house migrants next year in Chicago, $200 million, more than a third the total deficit.
Shows the need that we need some assistance from the federal government.
36th Ward Alderman Gilbert Villegas, hoping for help from Washington on the migrant front, commends the mayor for, it appears, sticking to his campaign promise not to raise property taxes to offset all this.
We're going to have to, again, take a look at the efficiencies, take a look at those other levers that we can pull. No one has an appetite for property taxes. As a matter of fact, as we're starting to see businesses and people are starting to recover from the pandemic, we want to make sure that we're not stymieing the economic activity in the city of Chicago.
Sarah Wetmore of the Civic Federation says those details are likely to come next month when the mayor presents his formal budget. And she says there will be some success stories to share.
What they're seeing is additional recovery in some areas, such as hotel tax, which they're projecting will come in above budget.
But with debits outpacing credits, Villegas says the city needs to look for inventive ways to get ready for next year.
Over 1,200 positions that are vacant. When you take a look at the dollar amount around that, it's a couple $100 million.
Next month's budget rollout by Mayor Johnson could include a realignment of resources, he says. And of note, Uncle Sam's not going to jump in here and solve this deficit problem at the last minute. Money earmarked for cities like Chicago for pandemic-related costs cannot use that money to bridge deficit problems. It must be spent on new projects. At City Hall, Chris Tye, CBS 2 News.